Hi there. Today I'm going to be doing the, what is it called? The Bougie Booktuber tag. It's a tag by the Book Olive. There are 10 questions and I am just going to get right into it. So question one, I have it open on my screen over here. If you see me keep looking over there, that's why. Question one is, what is your average monthly budget for books? So I don't have a budget for books. I have like a generic spending, like fun money budget for each month, and I can honestly say I don't really use that much of it on books. There have been a couple of releases in the past few months that I've been really excited about, like Well Met, Serpent and Dove, that I've gone and picked up right away from the bookstore. But other than that, I don't really spend a whole lot of money on books, just for the sheer fact that I have so many books on my physical TBR and actually my Kindle too. I have so many books that I already own that I haven't read that I just don't really spend a whole lot of money on new books, unless it's something that, again, I'm very, very excited about. Number two, what's the most you've ever spent in a bookstore? So I think the most I've ever really spent at one time was like $60 probably. When I got like really in the mood to buy books, I bought like a few things. But again, I really don't spend that much in bookstores, especially. I buy books on Amazon. I have books at home that I try to read. So I don't really go to the store and buy like a ton of books ever. Yeah, so I think it was probably only like $60 or so. Number three, are you willing to pay full price for a brand new release, or will you wait until you have a coupon or there's a sale? I am not a couponer. I am so bad with coupons. If I do have a coupon, 90% of the time I forget to bring it with me wherever I'm going. So yeah, about that. And then I'm very like I said, if I have something that like I'm really excited about, I'll go and I'll buy it. I'll probably pay full price. Like Well Met, I bought the first day it came out. The Unhoneymooners, I bought the first day it came out. So I didn't like wait for a sale or anything. But in general, I'm not like super into like buying new releases like as soon as they come out. So I'll probably just wait for a sale. Like it's not really a big deal to me. And I really don't like to spend a ton of money on books. So there you go. Number four, would you rather buy one new book, or several less expensive used copies? So if it's between those two things, I would definitely prefer to buy like a bunch of used books. Over the summer, my husband and I went to, was it over the summer? Whatever. My husband and I went to the Book Barn in Connecticut. It's this huge, there's actually four or five different like stops, like spots that they sell used books. It's just this huge area full of used books, and I was in paradise. I just sat there and skimmed like over the books for so long. I think my husband actually got bored being there with me because I was just so into looking at like every single book. I will probably choose quantity over like quality every time when it comes to the amount of books. And that's actually how I have so many unread books right now, is because I go to used bookstores and I'll buy a bunch of books. I don't anymore. Like I said, I haven't really bought a whole lot of new books recently because I just have so many already, but that's how I got them. Gifts and used bookstores where you can get books for like 25 cents. Number five, what do you think is a reasonable price for a new hardback book? A paperback, an ebook? So this is an interesting question because I feel like prices of books have just been going up and up and up. I think like $20 is probably good for a hardcover, whereas you can get a lot of hardcovers for like $35. Like, I think that's a little absurd for a new book, even if it is a hardcover. I know they cost more to make or whatever, but especially in the age of technology where a lot of people just read ebooks, I feel like, I understand like they're maybe selling less books, so they want to sell them for more price so they still make the same kind of amount of profit. But at the same time, I would rather just buy the ebook. If I'm going to spend $35 on a book, I might as well just buy the ebook and spend $10. Paperback, I think paperbacks should be like $10 to $15. I mean, obviously some books are bigger, like The Way of Kings or whatever by Brandon Sanderson. Those books are huge. Like maybe those should cost a little bit more, but in general, I think $10 to $15 is probably plenty to pay for a paperback. If it's a mass market paperback, it should definitely be like $7 to $10 max because nobody even likes those. So yeah. Ebooks, that's another thing. It really irritates me that ebooks are the same price as paperback books at this point. Like, I find books that I want and I'm like, oh, the paperback book is like $13. Let me go see, maybe the ebook will be cheaper, and the ebook is like $15. Like, why? It costs you nothing to make an ebook. like very low costs. And I understand like there are still people that have to get paid and whatever, but like I feel like it's just greedy to charge $30, like not 30, but like $15 for something that you make once and you can sell like millions of times. And it requires no extra labor, but that's just me. Personally, I don't think I've ever really paid more than, well, there were a couple of books that I was really excited about that I paid like $8 or $9 for, but I normally don't pay more than $3.99 for an ebook. And yeah, that's probably as high as I really have to think about it. Like I really think about my purchase if it's more than $3.99. Like I said, there have been a couple that I bought that were more than that, but I really, really, really wanted those books. Like right now, whereas normally I won't pay more than like $3.99. And ebooks are something that I will wait for a sale. Like I get emails and stuff about sales for ebooks, and then I will be more likely to buy an ebook if it's on sale, especially if it's less than $3.99. Pardon the intrusion. I just wanted to include, I realized I didn't say, I'm definitely willing to pay more if it's a self-published book or an indie published book, just because I know like an individual is making money off of that book and trying to make a living selling their work. So it's not like a giant corporation, like a giant print house just trying to make more money. So yeah, I am definitely willing to pay more if it's self-published or indie published. Number 6, is a signed book worth more to you? How about a first edition? No, I don't really care. I have one signed and personalized book, and it was from Orson Scott Card, and he screwed it up. Like I went with my brother, his wife at the time, and myself, and we wanted it. He was getting one signed for my father, so the one that I got signed, we wanted signed and personalized for both of us. And then he wrote something about like the dance of men and women or something to imply that like my brother had 2 chicks. I don't know. It was just really weird. And every time I read it, I kind of get a little cringy about it, but that's the only book that I have signed and personalized. And it is kind of it's important to me. And I do value that one, because I loved Orson Scott Card so much at the time. Ender's Game was my favorite book for years. I think from the time I was like 12 until like my 20s. Ender's Game was like my favorite book. I loved that book so much. So yeah, that one has value to me. Other than that, I really don't care. Like I bought a Christina Lauren book off like the bargain table at Barnes & Noble, and I opened it and it ended up being signed. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Cool. But I wasn't really like, oh my God, I would have paid so much more for this had I known. Like, no, it really doesn't matter to me. And first editions, I tend to like wreck my books. So first editions don't really mean anything to me because they're just going to get ruined anyway. Like I have a first edition of Serpent and Dove and I already ripped one of the pages. Accidentally. I didn't do it on purpose, but... So yeah, that doesn't really, I mean, I understand if you're going to be reselling your books, I guess, like autographs or like signed editions and first editions will make you more money on resale, but I don't sell books. Like if I get rid of books, I just donate them. I don't really have any bookstores around me that buy back books, so it doesn't matter to me. Number 7, what is your most valuable book, sentimental or actual value? A really, really old copy of Around the World in 80 Days that my dad used to read my brother and I when we were like really young. And that's probably like my most cherished book. But I mean, you know, that and the Orson Scott Card book. Number 8, will you pay more for a cover or edition you like better? Not really. No. If I see a book with a pretty cover that I like, and I already have it, I probably wouldn't go out of my way to buy another one just because it's pretty, because all of my books are kind of just thrown on my shelf now anyway. I don't really have any like presented in a beautiful way or anything, so it really doesn't. Number 9, what physical characteristics does a good quality book have? Does that mean like what I like in a book that I look for? Because I mean a good quality book is sturdy, like paperback books that have like slightly thicker. I feel like I'm ripping that answer off from one of these videos I watched. I watched 2 people's videos and I feel like that's a complete ripoff of one of their answers. But it's true, like a paperback that has like sturdier paper covers so that won't get like wrecked immediately. For hardcovers, I mean, honestly, dust jackets are like my nemesis, so I really like naked hardbacks. Those are great, like, because there's nothing you can really destroy about it. Like, dust jackets just get wrecked. I've started just like taking them off of my books completely and just leaving them on a safe shelf somewhere so that I don't wreck them as I'm reading the book because they just get destroyed. So naked hardbacks where you don't even have to worry about a dust jacket is great. Paperback books that have like thicker covers so they're not as easily like destroyed. That's nice. And I tend to like slightly thicker paper, like those Bible thin pages I'm not a huge fan of because again, I don't mean to. I'm not like unnecessarily rough on my books, but things happen. And like I said, I already ripped a page of Serpent and Dove while I was reading it the other day. So like not a big rip, just a little one, but still. So yeah, like slightly thicker paper. I don't know. That's about it, I guess. And number 10, if you won the lottery, what bookish things would you do with the money? Okay, now this is going to be a complete ripoff of one of the videos I watched, which is, what was it? Books with Emily Fox. Her answer, the library that Belle has in Beauty and the Beast. That is what I would do if I won the lottery. As well as I would probably improve the library in my city, actually. Like, our library is not that great. Like, I came from a town, I grew up in a town where there was a really, really nice library. It was like multiple floors, like tons and tons of books. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was a great library. And the library in my city now is kind of lacking. Like, not even all their shelves are full of books. So, I don't know. I feel like it could use some help. I feel like it could use some love. So I would probably donate some money to the library in my city. And yeah, make Belle's library in my home because who doesn't want that? Like, what bookish person doesn't want Belle's library? So yeah. And then a bonus question, give us an image or actual or mental of your dream home library. That kind of ties back into Belle's library. I want the ladder. I want the cushy chairs. I want multiple floors of books. Just, yeah, that is the dream. But yeah, so that is it for the Bougie Booktuber tag. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will, I'll link both A Book Olive and Books with Emily Fox's videos in the description, so you can check those out if you haven't seen them. They're very interesting. They have, especially A Book Olive, she put a lot of, I think since she created the tag, she put a lot of thought into her answers, and she has some really good answers. And Books with Emily Fox's video is just funny because she's funny. So yeah, that's it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!